for another exit strategy. You made it just in time. We were just about to lock the gates. I don't know why. I record these things, and I don't have any plan, but they always end up being some sort of knock on Mark Maron. One of these days, I'm going to have him on the podcast, and we're going to talk about his exit strategy. Okay, this is already starting out very aggressive. Once again, my name is Jeff Wattenhoffer, and I hate doing this part of the show. It's something I'm not good at. You might have noticed. Well, anyway, it's something you got to do. I got to set the table. This is my chance to be me, baby. I don't have to talk to no guest. I can talk about whatever I want, but mostly I'm going to talk about the guest today. The guest today is Mr. Matt Ingebretson. He is the creator, writer, and star of Corporate, a new show coming out on Comedy Central, a new comedy that he created with Jake Weissman and Mr. Pat Bishop, a fantastically talented trio of people, and we're looking forward to that show. Hey, we're doing the legwork early. It doesn't premiere until January, but this might be what brings you into the corporate fold. And if so, Matt, I would like a cut of your advertising budget because really I'm doing the street team work now. Okay, so I've already knocked Mark Maron, and I've gotten a little bit, I took a little jab at our guest and him not paying me for this promotional opportunity. Anyway, as you can see, once again, this is a weird thing for me to do in my apartment. Right now I'm all alone, talking to no one, but then I'm also talking to you. It's a weird mindset to put yourself into, and if you've never done it, I would recommend you get out the voice memo app on your phone. I don't know what it's called on Samsung's, but it's probably something. I'm sure there is a voice memo app. If you have to purchase it, hey, if it's $1, maybe don't, but if it's free, go ahead and purchase it. You can always put your thoughts down if you don't want to write them. Anyway, open that app up. Get way alone, like no one in your house, like super alone, and then close the windows, even if it's hot, and then just start talking and pretend like you're talking to someone, but there is no one in your line of sight at all. And then try to be enthusiastic about it. This is coming off negative. I want to say that I don't like doing this, but I also want to get better at it. So I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing these intros until they finally kill me. This is Exit Strategy. We've already put out some epis, and I'm glad that you're a part of it. I do want to say one thing. It would be really helpful, and we do touch on this in the episode, oddly. It would be very helpful if you were to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or the platform of your choice. It also helps if you rate and review the podcast as well. It seems like, a lot of work. I know you don't want to come. You don't even have to write. Don't even write a review. Honestly, we're not looking for. This isn't an essay contest. Just give us the stars, and it doesn't have to be 5. I'm going to be honest. Just the fact that it's a rating is still something significant. Although, don't be the dick that gives it 1 star already. Come on, that's just mean. But do something. Show your support for the show. It would really help me out, and it would help this journey move along and get better and better, and get us more ears of people that might be interested in what we're doing here. Well, I see that I have talked for 3 minutes and 39 seconds and counting, and I think that this is more than enough introduction for the show. Again, we're talking to Matt Ingebretson of Corporate, and we're going to do it right in a couple seconds now.
Hey, talking right now into the microphone.
You're going hold style.
I think so, because this thing's too short for me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We could put a book under it.
I got it.
You got it?
This
okay.
is nice, yeah.
Matt Ingebretson, bucking convention. He's holding the mic. Okay,
He's nervous.
We might have to take that away. Matt Ingebretson is here on
Hey,
Exit
Jeff.
Strategy.
All
I'm
right.
glad to have him.
Are we in it?
What's that? We're in it. Well, you see, here's the thing about podcasts now. I probably don't even have to say, hey, Matt Ingebretson is here, because I just said it in a segment where I'm like, today we have Matt Ingebretson. So it's kind of like...
It's also like in the title of the podcast.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you write a whole description about what you're going to talk about. I don't know if anybody's going to read that. Also, I don't know, like, what do you withhold? What do you tell them? What do you not tell them? I'm new to this podcasting.
Right. You don't want a spoiler alert in the...
Right there in the thing.
Let me ask you a question. There's an
Okay.
AC running in the background. How's that sound on mic right now?
Here's another thing I'm going to tell you right here.
Yeah.
Now, I'm chalking it up to podcast noviceness.
Okay.
But if you're so much of an audiophile that you can't, like, you're like,
Jeff's-
oh, there's a specific frequency I'm hearing in the back of this interview that is keeping me from listening to two human beings talk, you have mental problems. And it's
Jeff, out of his own insecurity about his novice podcast skills, is taking shots at audiophiles.
I'm taking it out on audiophiles. Well, here's the thing: as long as it's running and constantly in the background, they wouldn't have even known it was
No,
there.
I think it's fine.
They wouldn't have even known. No, I'm keeping it on until I'm, if I ever get big,
Right.
where it's like it's an honor to be on this show.
Yeah.
Then it could be 100 degrees in here. But like since it's so new, I feel like
it's a disgrace to be on this show.
Yeah.
Currently,
Right now
it's an embarrassment.
Right now, I have to make it as comfortable as possible. By the way, I forgot to offer you. I also have root beer. If you want it, I give you a water, but we do have root beer.
I'm off soda, but thank you.
You're off soda completely.
Yeah.
Is that
I've been off soda for a long time. When I was in high school, I used to drink 52 ounces of Dr. Pepper every morning. There was a gas station where you could buy a 52-ounce refillable mug, and I drank 52 ounces of Dr. Pepper a day.
that is so?
And then eventually, that life catches up with you. And I had to cut soda out of my life.
52 ounces of soda a day.
It was in Texas. It was at Buc-ee's. Anybody who's been to Texas might know
I know
Buc-ee's.
I know Buc-ee's. I definitely had my trips to the gas station as a child, getting gummy candies and sodas.
I have fond memories of my
Yeah.
father taking me to the gas station.
to fill up. He had to have in his mind been like, I don't think I should be letting him do this.
Yeah.
This is definitely
I know.
bad.
Yeah,
What-
there's
so-
got to be a weird thing with kids with candy. Is it's like they shouldn't. It's not. It's
Oh,
bad for them.
absolutely. You
but
should
they
not be
want
doing
it
it.
so much.
I think, and I'm speaking as not a parent, but I feel like there just reaches a point where it's easier to give in than to listen to them.
I would imagine.
I have a very short fuse for listening to children complain or in any way make noise. So I have a feeling I'm going to be
You're
the
gonna be a bad dad. Yeah.
Does that mean that you quit soda in high school?
Yep.
Oh my God,
Senior year, I switched to iced tea.
that is so
52
cool,
ounces
man.
of iced tea.
Sweet tea, baby. So you haven't had a soda? Well, I mean, you've had a soda.
I've had
since,
soda, but I'm pretty much off.
Well, that's cool. I'm kind of happy for you.
Are you you're a soda drinker? I know this is not the topic of the podcast.
I
but
like this though. This is
Yeah.
giving people a little context into who we are. I do drink soda. I don't really.
sugar soda.
Here's the only time I drink soda is if I'm at a place and that's the only option, or I'll do at the soda fountain at the restaurant or movie theater.
Okay.
Half diet, half regular soda.
Yeah.
It's too much sugar. Yeah.
It's
It's gross.
terrible for you. I do like occasionally I'll drink a soda and it is lovely. I do miss it a little bit, but
Yeah. There's a time and place for it.
yeah.
We just had a root beer float last night, and it was divine. So, Well, anyway, Matt, enough about soda. Enough about our childhood.
We've covered soda.
All right, folks. This has been Soda Talk with Matt and Jeff. This is a backdoor pilot for our podcast.
Yeah, we're pitching a soda-based show to FX, and we want to.
Can I be honest with you? I
Yeah.
actually had an idea because when I was thinking of what to do for the podcast, I was like, well, you got to have a damn gimmick because otherwise you're just like, what's your reason for existing?
Right.
And one of my gimmicks that I thought of before I came up with this one was that I was going to do. I would go to Galco's, the soda shop in Highland Park that has like hundreds of types of soda.
I love that. That's the last. Yeah, I love
And
that
then
place.
that would be what that would like. That's what today we're drinking this lemon soda. Like that would be the thing.
I think that's great.
The only thing that I thought of was that's.
You're then forcing a soda
Yeah,
upon
I'm
someone.
forcing a soda on people that I know don't like soda, and also I kind of don't want to have to drink a soda every time I do this.
You gain just tons of weight from
Yeah.
the podcast.
And I'm just gonna have like sticky mouth where it's just like dry in there.
Right.
And there's a lot of like sounds of popping and.
Yeah, you got to have a gimmick for your podcast.
So this is the gimmick. It's more of like a heartfelt getting into people's psyche thing, and I think that's got longer legs than the soda podcast.
Yeah,
But I'm glad that we got to.
I like getting the inner
vicariously do
workings
that.
of your creative process coming up with the podcast.
Hey, I've got to tell somebody about it. I'm trying to be as not narcissistic as possible while doing a narcissistic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Matt, we've known each other for quite some time.
Yeah.
You've been a comedian in my life and the lives of many.
And you and mine.
And we've known each other for better part of a decade.
Yeah, we were in
the
dirt together.
We were learning how to do it. Did you start in Los Angeles, or did you start before you moved here?
I started in Austin.
In Austin, Texas. What a cool town.
Very cool town in Texas. You got to go to Austin. That was a mistake. Austin made a mistake, actually, of advertising that they were a cool town.
Oh, I was going to say you thought they made a mistake of letting you go.
Never should have let this boy go.
Yeah, I can see how if you are writing that cool town thing, that could get obnoxious pretty quick.
Well, and also what happened is, like, I mean, it's not necessarily a mistake, but it's like they were like, it was when I was in college, there was being listed everywhere as like the #1 best city to live in America. And then like 1 million people moved there over the next decade. And so it just drastically alters the city. So it's still great, but like the price of living there is skyrocketed and stuff.
You kind of live in the same neighborhood. We kind of live in a cool part of town.
Yeah.
And it's definitely morphed our neighborhoods very quickly into something different than it was even 5 years ago.
Yeah, it turns out I watched this thing recently that was talking about Santa Monica did that once. It's like it seems like it always seems like a good idea to be like, we got a great thing going here.
Yeah.
But in reality, you should keep it a secret until
don't let other people in at all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I agree with that. That would be nice. But it's where we live. It's what we do now. Mm-hmm. So you started in Austin.
I started in Austin, did a year there.
Yeah.
My first open mics actually were in L.A. I was here for college, or for a semester in college. I studied abroad in Los Angeles. Yeah, I backpacked through Los Angeles.
Staying at hostels.
Yeah, and my first open mic was the Rainbow Bar and Grill or something like that.
Like in the Sunset Strip where like Lemmy from Motorhead hung out? I didn't know they had a mic there. Was he there when you did a...
Oh, yeah.
He might have seen you do your
I don't know.
He might have seen you do your first set of stand-up.
Maybe, yeah. It was weird. It was like at the top of a staircase, kind of in a weird bar area part of it. And then the next couple I did were at Ha Ha Cafe.
Oh, I know it well.
Yep.
That was where I started in L.A.
And then I got asked to do the one and only Bringer show I ever did.
Yeah.
And I killed at the Bringer show, or at the time, my perception of killing, which was I got some laughs, which was the most... It's like what lures every stand-up into it. It's like the most electric feeling you've ever experienced.
And you're just chasing it.
Chasing that for the rest of your life, yeah.
So basically, this Bringer
show...
I
was lied to, and then it tricked me into a career.
You brought 10 of your friends to watch you do stand-up, and it went okay, and then now that's just like an addiction you cannot shake.
That's exactly right, yeah.
And then
back to Austin, and did it there kind of lightly for a year. I ran UT Austin's humor magazine, the college I went to, and like ran a half open mic, half book show every Friday at a local improv theater there called Cold Town.
Did you like that scene better than the LA scene as you knew it?
No, and I did not. But I think in my mind I sort of judged the Austin scene at the time as being pretty like cliquey and like unfriendly. But in reality, I think I was just 21 years old and not yet confident or funny at all, and so people didn't know what to do with me.
Well, that's a common criticism that I've noticed throughout the years of that click thing.
Right.
But really, and somebody pointed out to me several years ago, like, you go to these open mics, you go to these things where you're starting out, and you see all these people that know each other, and they're very tight, and they don't really let you in. It's for two reasons. One, because these people spend every night of their lives together always, so of course. And then two, they've seen so many people come and go and never be seen again that there really isn't any incentive to invest time in people until they've been around for a while.
That's right. Yeah.
That's why cliques exist.
Yes. It's just kind of a natural thing that forms, and you have to just... It hardens you slightly, and then you get past it, and then you're fine.
And then you're part of the clique.
Or you don't, and you quit. And thank God you did. Because we don't need any more people.
We really don't.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but I'm happy, and I'll always whenever whenever anybody says I'm doing my first set of stand-up, I'll always applaud. I'll always say yes.
Yes.
Support. But then after that, you're kind of on your own.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's true. So I got to know Matt in the trenches.
In the trenches.
I don't know if
I said the dirt.
Oh, the dirt. Well, the trenches are in the dirt.
Yeah.
Okay, this podcast has gone off the rails. We also were in the Holy Fuck family.
That's right,
A show run and created by Dave Ross that we were both brought into.
Dave Ross, one of the best show creators, live stand-up show creators in L.A.
That man can create a show.
He can really do it.
He created Holy Fuck. He created Art Fuck, which was your...
That one was less successful.
Yeah, but I mean, it was still something.
Yeah, but Holy Fuck was like a phenomenon.
Yeah, it was a big one, and it was where I really learned how to do stand-up. I mean, I did open mics, but like when you had the pressure of, okay, every week you have to go up, and a lot of these people are the same people that come every week.
Yeah.
That's when it gets very real. Oh, and then also you probably are going to have to follow the biggest and best comedians
That's right.
in the country as well.
It really, you have to like really summon something from inside, or just learn to be okay with like doing okay and like improvising a little more.
I was never okay with doing okay. I never.
You never are. It never.
No,
feels
no,
good,
no one's. No one is ever just going to be like, well, that went all right, and I'm fine with it.
I still, because I didn't host weekly like you did, or I didn't do the sets weekly at Holy Fuck like you did, but I do it now at Good Heroin, which is another show that Dave is a part of, and even still. Even though I'm more consistent now, it's still you have an off night and it feels awful.
The thing that let's talk about this because we both run a weekly show, and then it kind of is it's a different ball game because I know that the audience is different every week,
right?
But do you ever feel when you are doing the Matt act, like the stuff that always works, the stuff that you would do at another show, if you do it often in the same venue, even though it's different people, does it still kind of feel like
it feels like it's sucking the life out of it a little bit?
Yeah. I hate that feeling. That's the worst part about running a weekly show.
Yeah, it's hard. I feel like I can do a joke like 3 times, and then I've got to like not do it at that show for like a year or something like that. Yeah.
I have dug myself into I know it works, and I always end up backing into it, but while I'm doing it, there's no soul behind the eyes. It's just like the motions. And
it feels awful. And like I have done a bit before where I've done it too many times, or it's like a very old bit of mine where I can see that the audience, too much of the audience has heard it before. Yeah. And it sucks to be midway through that bit and just like, and I'm saying the words and you know what's coming and here's the punchline.
Well, I run a show. You run a show with just Dave. I run a show with 3 other people. So those 3 people are seeing a lot of the same stuff.
They're sick of you.
We're all sick of each other, but it's fun. Now, excitingly, you've done stand-up for 7 years now, but now you've got a new project that's right. Insane and amazing. You and Jake Weissman and Pat Bishop created a television show called Corporate
for Comedy Central,
which is going to air on Comedy Central. Do we have a date yet, or is that
January?
January of 2018?
But I don't know the exact day yet. Yeah, January 2018.
What day of the week? You don't know.
I don't know what day of the week.
You don't know what sitcom you're up against.
Prime time. Yeah, we're going up against Friends reruns.
I feel like that doesn't.
We're gonna lose.
No longer matters anymore.
It
could
doesn't.
be any day of the week.
It's still a like big or not a big discussion, but like a discussion the network is having. Like, who are we pairing this with? Like, what's the time slot? But and maybe there still are people who watch TV as it comes on, but I don't know any of those.
I think the number is rapidly dwindling.
Yeah.
Although I will say, and I don't want to knock your home network, Comedy Central's online platform is very inaccessible.
I know.
It is. It's a little rough.
We've yelled at them about that. Yeah.
It's almost like they don't know they could be the biggest thing on the internet.
Yeah,
they've got a catalog of so much stuff.
They do okay on YouTube. I've yelled at them about this, and I encourage, as I'll be very open about this. I will openly encourage anyone to pirate the show.
Okay, man.
Please feel free.
Okay, hey, man.
Break the law, whatever you got to do. Just when the show is out, get your hands on it.
Oh, when Matt gets any semblance of success, he just
I don't give a shit anymore.
I yelled at the Comedy Central executive. I told him the way they do business is nothing. I told him to cancel South Park. So in January, you're going to have a TV show.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Are you excited? Are you pumped? See, here's the thing that's weird about it.
Right.
Is you wrapped on that
Yeah.
quite a while ago.
We finished editing in May.
Yeah.
And it's currently September.
Yes.
And we just started writing the second season 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going at it again.
That's good.
But yeah, it is like there is this weird thing where you're like pushing and there's excitement finishing and then you're like have it done and you want to show it to people and they're like in 9 months from now you will be able to show someone.
That sounds excruciating.
So yeah, my excitement has died. I'm sure it will pop back. Not died in the sense that I'm really excited to show people, but just time passes and it's hard not to like.
And you're moving on.
And we're writing the next season
it's
now,
good
so I'm
that you
excited
have
about that.
Two. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Because if I just had to sit, because I've got 4 or 5 of these just podcast episodes done, and I'm just like, I just want to upload them all now.
I know.
Like I don't even want to follow the weekly thing.
Yeah.
It's just like I want to get it out of my life.
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine.
Just get it over with.
I can't imagine. Do people binge podcasts? Should I do that? Should I just release 50 at once?
You should do.
What does Comedy Central think of that?
I'll talk to Comedy Central.
Thank you.
You should do like 2 or 3 up top. Like give people like a few, or like maybe 2 right away, or 2 in the first week or something.
Well, it's
like
too
that.
late. I've already given them just one. Maybe I don't know.
Have you given out? You put out one?
I've put out one.
Whoa, I didn't even see this.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
Oh, God. Which episode was it?
As of right now, and I don't know what sequence this will air, but right now, just one episode is out. It was with Barbara Gray.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that.
You
Yeah,
did see
that's
that.
right. Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Don't,
Matt. This interview is over. No, it's all right. I honestly, everybody I know has so many projects that if I were to be the one who's just like, oh, you didn't listen to my podcast, I would be the biggest hypocrite in the world. I'm sorry.
Yes.
But if you do have the notion, anyone, you, Matt, and anyone else listening, hey, rate, review, and subscribe. We could use the...
Rate, review. And seriously do that. If you are listening, and I have as I've said, I've disgraced to be on this. I feel disgraced to be on this podcast. But seriously, it is truly beneficial to a podcast to go rate and review it. I know it's annoying to be told to do that.
And you don't know your iTunes password, for sure.
You don't know your iTunes password, but please go do it because it does actually make a difference. Jeff did not ask me to do this. I'm just trying to do him a solid right now.
Thank you so much, Matt.
You got it.
This episode will definitely air next because we need that. Like people don't know that you do need to subscribe and rate because that just bumps it up. Because right now, because my podcast is named Exit Strategy, there's all these like business-oriented podcasts that are outranking me, and it is bugging me.
Oh yeah.
So we need the ratings,
we gotta help
the reviews.
out, Jeff.
Thank you very much. All right, Matt. Let's talk about because right now things are going pretty good. You got a nice gig. But
Hollywood, you know
Hollywood's
how that
tough.
goes. Yeah, it's a rough town.
If you had to move out, well, I don't want to say you have to move out to Hollywood. That might inform your decision. But if you had to step away from it all, if you couldn't perform, if you couldn't produce this television show of yours, I mean, what would you do with your life? What would be your exit strategy?
And so it's out of the entertainment industry.
I don't want to limit anyone's answers.
Okay.
So if you have something in mind, I'll vet it and I'll see if I like it, and then we'll continue.
What if I was like agent? I want to be
honestly
an agent.
That would be a weird.
That would be a
diversion.
Really weird diversion.
Yeah.
Also, nobody would trust me as an agent because I've been like a comedian. I mean, maybe they would. The advantage, I suppose, would be that I have insider information on what it's like being a comedian, but it's like I've demonstrated in many ways that I should not represent people.
No.
Yeah.
I think, though, that often I've thought that I could probably represent other people better than I represent myself.
I understand that because you're able to, like, it's easier to fight for someone else
than yourself.
Kind of abstractly, or not abstractly, than yourself, where you're having to, like, put yourself on the line.
I hate self-promotion, too, but I will vouch for people that I like.
Totally.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, so you're not going to be an agent.
Okay, not an agent. Yeah, I think, I mean, the most I don't know if I would do this. The most boring answer, partially because it's just tangential to what I'm doing now, would be like probably maybe, I don't know if I would go get my MFA. I would probably start writing like fiction.
Yeah, like you'd...
I think so. Like if that's the like most direct, like if I was like, fuck the entertainment industry, although it would be a mistake to then be like, publishing's my game, because that's a similarly like, terrible thing. But I think I went to college and like took creative writing classes, and like that was sort of the genesis of how I got into that. I probably divert back to that, but I think that aside, because I don't know, being a short story writer,
Short story writer.
that was what I wrote in college, but I don't know. I think what I would probably do is.
Oh no, I've broken Matt. He has no idea.
I know.
He has no idea. He's taken off his sunglasses. he's going to answer for real.
Rubbing my temples. I
mean, you could be an author. I mean, I'll accept that.
Author.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might
You
be
seem
an
like
author.
you haven't convinced yourself of even this exit strategy fantasy.
I guess like is there a reason I have to leave? What's the reason I have to leave? Maybe I'm dissecting this too much.
I think you are. I think you're dissecting it too hard. Basically, this is the thought behind the podcast.
Yeah.
I am 34 years old now.
Yeah.
I've been doing comedy for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a stressful thing of like, do you keep doing what you do? Do you not keep doing what you do?
Right.
But here's the thing. If you want to switch careers
Yes.
and you start now, you kind of have to, you're going to start at the bottom. It's not just
Right.
like, oh, I got a new job. Now I got a new career.
Yes.
So like, if you couldn't do what you do, what is something that you could do in your life that you would still feel happy about, and something you would want to, if you had to start now, you could work towards and do in the future?
I feel like, I guess what this is exposing about me is I feel like if I ever left comedy, what it would mean for me is that I realized I'm a fraud or something like that, and I would leave creative pursuits behind. Because I think I would just shift to another creative pursuit. Like,
Yeah.
I think I'm in that game in life. I feel like we're all gonna die.
Yes.
You got 60 years to do something, and actually you don't have that much time. You have like 40 years, like 20 to 60.
Yeah.
And even that, you've really got 20 years to do it, and then you're kind of writing what you've done. You can kind of keep, dipping back in.
When you boil it down, you got about 20 minutes in your life.
Yeah, 20 minutes to do something. What are you going to do? Smoke a cigarette.
Okay, well, this is fascinating to me, and this is why I like this topic, because it kind of can take a lot of different facets. Now, you said that if you switched, you would feel like that was kind of an admission of, I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, or I'm just trying to imagine a scenario in which I leave, and it would be like failure of a massive. I would have to like either fail so badly that I'm like ashamed and can't face the world anymore, or just, I suppose I just get fed up with it. I mean, it is a pain in the ass. Yeah, if it just starts like grinding to a halt. Here's the thing. I think if it started like grinding to a halt, I would not try to become like an author right away. I would probably go try to get a job. I think I would move to a city where it's very cheap to live. Mm-hmm. Maybe somewhere like Birmingham or somewhere
in the New South.
Somewhere in the New South, like somewhere where it's like, it's not Austin yet, because Austin is expensive now. It's like a city where in 20 years it might be Austin, but right now, it's like
just have a big place.
You can pay $500 a month for rent somewhere. You get a whole fucking house for that or whatever. And then I think I would just try to find the least resistance job. And then on the side, do things that I found creatively fulfilling that maybe I'm not even trying to pursue professionally. Maybe it's sort of like slowly trying to pursue visual art or write my groundbreaking short story collection. But
you are really self-deprecating about this non-existent exit strategy.
I know.
See, here's the thing. You don't. It doesn't have to be a negative thing.
Okay.
But what I'm noticing, though, is that you said you would have kind of a not-in-the-way job, and then you would also on the side pursue your creative essays, which basically is exactly what you did for stand-up, probably, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So you would just you would start again with
just in a kind of a slightly different field. Yeah.
I think that's a perfectly fine exit strategy.
What's your exit strategy? I'm sure you've talked about it already.
Here's the thing. I have no business running this podcast because I don't have an answer for this.
You don't have an answer. Yeah.
Maybe someday this will be it, but I don't know.
Right.
I think, though, my exit strategy is I'm the same thing with you. That there's got to be some sort of creative thing on the other end of it.
Yeah.
But right now, it's just like grappling with the financialness of it.
Yeah, because I mean, the thing with like this career is you really have to like throw yourself into it and do it.
Yeah.
It has to be your whole life.
Yes.
And that's the like downside, or it can be an exciting aspect of it, because if you're doing something you like and you get to do it all the time, and it's like, what else are you doing with your time? Just throw yourself into this. Why not?
Yeah.
But the other way to live your life is to do something that just pays the bills and is not try to make it as not painful as possible. And then you at night have your hobbies. I guess I would want hobbies.
You have your outlet.
Do you have any hobbies? That's what I'm missing. I feel like that's what I'm missing in my life right now. I don't have a hobby.
You know, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm on board with you, because you see over there, right there, that guitar that's hanging on the wall. I haven't played that in probably a year.
That's a symbol. That's a symbol of some sort over there on the wall.
Well, it's just you run out of free time in the day.
Yep.
Comedy is a time suck.
Yeah, I mean, I used to play music too in college, and then when I got into comedy, I loved it. It was for good reason. I loved it and got way into it. But it's like suddenly practicing piano every day.
Yeah,
because you have to do it daily. Music, you have to do like all the time to keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like comedy. I mean, you have to focus on it to be good at it.
Yeah.
It takes me a solid, because I do play every once in a while. I'll take it off the damn wall. But it takes me about an hour and a half to warm up.
Yeah.
So for an hour and a half, I'm terrible at playing a guitar, and I'm just like, it's really hard to get over that hour and a half hump.
Right, because that's a significant chunk of time.
Yes.
An hour and a half of just sucking is a bummer.
Yeah, where you're just like, I don't know how to do this anymore. But when I do get to that point, it is, I wonder why I don't do it every day.
I know.
It really is crazy. There's so many things, I think, in my life, hobbies like that, where I've just, because I don't read as much as I used to anymore. Like I've lost a lot of focus on other things, because I got a weekly show I got to worry about. I got to promote stuff. I got to make money. And now I'm doing this. It's like we kind of overload ourselves with.
Oh,
with
it's
shit.
too much. Yeah, I think that like culture is just headed that way too. It's like maximize your time, which in some ways is good, but it also like it's just good to sometimes be doing nothing, or like walk around and go for a walk and do nothing. Yeah, I don't have a hobby. I fantasize about many things. I fantasize about like woodwork.
Okay, I could see you being a woodworker.
Yeah, like doing woodwork, either on the scale of like I've got a shop and I'm like have saws and stuff, or on a smaller scale of like carving sculptures.
Just doing it for yourself.
Just
really.
kind of like just something tactile that feels nice, that I would have a product, or not a product, but a finished thing, you know?
Something to show for it.
Yeah.
Do you have woodworking skills already? Or
I've never done it.
Never touched a piece
never
of wood
once in my life.
But it's something you could start.
I mean, I know my way around like a saw.
I would love it if when you turned 40, you just bought so many tools.
Well, that's the thing. That's my worry, is I'll someday hit a point where I'm like, you know what, I am going to do this.
I think we're all going to
drop way too much money on all this shit and then never touch it.
That's what my dad does. He has money, so he'll have a hobby. He'll get way into it. He'll buy a whole bunch of stuff, and then he'll fade into his next hobby. So there's like, we just have a lot of equipment at our house.
Yes.
We have a lot of, he has woodwork equipment. He has musical instruments. He just, and I think that's kind of what it sounds like. I mean, that kind of sounds cool. And it kind of sounds like you might be interested in that too.
Pretty much, yeah. Just like straying in and out of hobbies, basically. Yeah.
So your exit strategy maybe isn't so much the making money aspect of it you're interested in, but more just the time and the ability to
kind of just live what I imagine to be a more normal, grounded life.
Yeah.
Not that I'm like out of touch, crazy, but just a more like living in LA and doing this. It's a weird life.
It skews your perceptions for sure.
And I fantasize sometimes about like having a more kind of like regular day to day. I also, the other thing I fantasize tangentially related to woodworking is like, I realized lately that I think of myself as a handyman, even though I'm definitely not a handyman. I know how to hammer things, but like I always think of myself like, maybe I'll buy a house that's like a fixer-upper.
Yeah.
But like that would be huge mistake for
Oh,
me.
yeah. That would be
It would never
rough.
get fixed up. Yeah.
I can just see you, haven't slept in days,
Oh, yeah.
house a mess, paint everywhere,
Oh, yeah.
a pile of wood on the floor.
The roof is leaking. I
Yeah.
can't get myself to do it.
Yeah. But but at least you gave yourself a challenge.
That's
you know?
right. Yeah.
My hobby is my home.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is good. I
Yeah.
think that I will accept that as an answer.
Would you ever be a teacher? I feel like you give off a bit of like a teacher vibe.
I do?
Not in like in a way where like I think you'd be good at it. I think you would be like you'd have a positive impact on children. I think.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
you have a very like calm vibe that is easy to be around, and also you can be enthusiastic about things. I think that's all
Yeah.
you need to do as a teacher.
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I'm sure I could do it. Is that
Yeah.
cocky of me to be like, yeah, I could be a teacher?
No.
But between the hours and
I know.
it would have to be older kids. I couldn't. I worked in a junior high for years, and
Yeah.
it is atrocious how you have windows of time where you can actually break through to a child.
Right.
And the rest of it is just like herding cats. It's so
You're just-
frustrating to be
yeah.
around children in that capacity. So I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, that's one thing I think about that. Where like, yeah, I could like teach kids and like that would be fulfilling. But I have heard the reality of it. Unless you're like,
It's thankless.
truly thankless, and the kids hate you. I mean, I fucking hated a lot of my teachers.
Yeah, just because they're doing their job.
I know.
Yeah, that's another thing you can't really get across to children. Is just like, I'm not in the mood for this,
I know.
and I don't have to
tired.
explain to you why I'm not.
I know. Yeah. It's weird. I think back to like a teacher who I didn't particularly like, but who sticks out to me. And he wasn't trying to like make a connection with any individual student. He was like a football coach who taught physics.
Yeah.
And he just
This is a weird.
I know.
combo, by the way.
And he just sort of would go up to the front of the class every day and like shout didactic. He'd teach physics, but in a very like, I'm like kind of not even really checking in with the students. It was just like very, but he also got in like life philosophy. I'm sure in retrospect it was fucked up. And honestly, I don't even remember much of it, but I feel like, I don't know. Would I be a good teacher? I'm too tired, I think.
You know what? I could see you actually, and maybe it's just because you're wearing a sweater right now. I could see you be a professor.
Yeah, I could do that. Maybe I'd go back to grad school and like,
I could see you teaching a humanities course or something.
I am good at like talking to people and like giving advice. That's my like default. To a fault, I like my girlfriend likes to remind me that she doesn't always need advice from me when she has a problem that she's talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm always like, when she's
natural.
complaining about something, I'm always like, let's isolate the problem and fix it.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe talking to adults. But yeah, kids. I mean, I don't spend time around kids. I don't fucking know how.
You haven't seen a kid in a
I
decade.
don't know a single child.
Doesn't know. Well, then, okay, let's make this life. And tell me if you approve of this.
Yeah.
Matt's life, if he went down this exit strategy path,
Yes.
he would live in, let's say, like Des Moines, Iowa.
Yep.
He works at the he works at Iowa City. He works at the writer's workshop at Iowa City.
Okay.
He's a professor. But then on the side, he has a dad blues band and a woodworking hobby.
All
and
right,
then whatever else you want to do.
Let's cut out the blues band.
dad
and
blues
I'm gonna
band is
mostly focus on the woodworking. I want to really be good at woodworking.
Do you think that would be a lifestyle that you would find fulfilling?
I think so, yeah. I would probably want to like also find a partner in that situation as well. I don't think I would want to do that single.
No.
Yeah.
Nothing is part of the love. That's another podcast. Love exit strategy, and that one would get dicey quick.
How do you exit out of your current relationship,
Yes.
and who would you rather be with?
Who would you rather be?
And
with?
name names.
Whoa. You know
Yeah.
what? That podcast would A, be a crazy hit, and B, ruin my life. So I don't think I'm going to do it. But I think that's...
But I like that. Iowa makes sense for me, too, because that's where my parents are from. So, like, Iowa City.
Iowa City, it's a college town.
Mm-hmm.
You could you walk around, go to the local used bookshop
Yes.
on your free time.
I work... And Iowa City, is that University of Iowa?
Yeah.
That's a tough writer's workshop. So I guess in my ideal fantasy, that's the writer's workshop.
I gave you a prestigious writers
I appreciate
workshop.
that.
I didn't give you like
I appreciate that vote of
Prairie
confidence.
View A&M. I didn't give you a crap one. I gave you the goods.
Yeah,
Because this is the thing about exit strategy.
It's your ideal.
It's ideal.
Thank
Thank you.
can imagine. Okay.
All right. Well, Matt, I think we've touched upon what you should do
Okay.
if you ever need to cut and run.
Well, I'm happy to know
entertainment.
the answer to this question.
Oh, I think this is a breakthrough.
Yeah, I feel a weight off my shoulders.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm going to throw one more thing at you.
Okay.
And that is, I'm going to give you in this next segment a great launching pad for you to get some corporate sponsorship.
Yes.
You are going to choose the sponsor for this week's episode, and maybe, just maybe, they're listening.
Yes.
And they're going to hear that, and they're going to say, Matt, we're plucking you out of this job at University of Iowa, and we're giving you the pitchman job. So after the break,
Yes.
this is going to be like your demo reel.
Okay.
So get ready. We're going to come back with Matt, and he's going to have his life changed
All right.
yet again for the third time tonight. We'll be right back. It costs a lot of money to decorate an apartment, I've come to find.
It does. And it also is this weird, like, because I just moved into a new place, and it's this, like, weird little identity crisis where you move in,
Yeah.
and you're like, who am I now? Who do I want people to think I am when they walk into this place?
Do you want to hang up the Reservoir Dogs poster again?
Well, that's the question. I like, you have these things that are kind of like from your, because you also have all the shit that you've, like, unpacked and whatever, and it's like, does this still represent me?
Yeah.
I now have a chance to shed this.
Yes, this is definitely a good opportunity to start shedding wall decorations that no
Yes.
longer fit your personality.
Oh, yeah.
Because in college, it's all movie posters, it's all bands, it's all that. And then
Yep.
after a while, you're like, displaying this makes me look like a child.
That's right. Why am I associating my identity to Weezer? I'm tying myself in integrally to the band Weezer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Weezer fan number 1, Matt Ingebretson here. And he is about to choose his sponsor. It might be Weezer. We don't know.
Jeff, this week's sponsor for Exit Strategy is Lifeway Kefir.
Lifeway Kefir.
Kefir is a yogurt beverage.
Yes. A
that-
probiotic.
A probiotic that I was once told by my sister that it's important to consume probiotics.
Yes.
And according to an article that she read that I never fact-checked, kefir has a very dense and varied combination of probiotics and is one of the best ways to ingest probiotics, which are important to your gut. Another fact that I took at face value from her and have never looked into again.
I think it's true. I've heard
Yeah.
it too.
But apparently there is bacteria in your gut, which I believe your intestines,
Yeah.
right?
Your digestive system.
Your digestive system.
The scientific word is gut.
There's bacteria, and that bacteria is, I don't know, regulating. Apparently, what I've been told, again, never read, never actually read any of this, is
Matt,
that
you're the reason why Trump has been elected.
I know.
You don't.
Oh,
you
yeah.
need to investigate these claims.
I know, is that the bacteria in your gut is as influential on who you are and how you behave
What?
as your nervous system.
So, depending on how many probiotics I'm having, that's going to affect how I present to the world.
How your mood, your
Wow.
behavior. Yeah, it apparently has a very large effect. Again,
Really?
I do not know this for a fact because I have not looked into it. But
I'm going to assume it's true because it would be weird if we stopped the podcast and I was like, I got to Google it. But I think
multiple people have told me. And as a Trump supporter and a drinker of kefir yogurt,
kefir yogurt,
the brand that I prefer is Lifeway.
Lifeway
It
kefir
is
yogurt.
not the best. I'm sorry, I take that back. It is tasty and, most importantly, affordable. There's a lot of kefir brands out there.
Budget kefir.
Yeah, that your organic stores that start tipping up at $5, $6 a bottle.
Too much.
Lifeway kefir tops out around $2.99, and depending on what your consumption patterns are, lasts me about a week and a half or so.
What are your consumption patterns of kefir?
Couple gulps a morning.
So you just get a big jug of kefir and then ba-boom, ba-boom.
Just gulp. I was not told how much to consume, and I just took it upon myself to give.
Yeah. Okay. So let's
to prescribe myself 2 gulps a morning.
I'm on board. Let me just say I'm on board with Lifeway Kefir as a sponsor. That's fine. But I do need to investigate a little bit of what you're saying because it sounds too good to be true. So you're saying that if I am consuming kefir, that's going to influence the way that I live, like my life and how I feel and what I do.
It will make you healthier.
But you don't have any definitive quantity.
I have no evidence, and I have no quantity that I can.
Yeah.
I think what feels right to you.
Okay.
I mean, it's so drinking yogurt is something you have to sort of adjust to.
Yeah.
It's
Can I ask a question? Do
Yeah.
you drink soup and or cereal milk? Because I don't like that.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I will sip miso soup. I will sip that.
At the
but
end.
other soups I eat with a spoon.
Okay, so this is an adjustment for you to be drinking.
This
kefir.
is an adjustment for me. Yeah, the closest I had ever done before was Go-Gurt, which is
there's no health benefits.
There's no
to Go-Gurt.
probiotics in Go-Gurt, to my knowledge.
So Lifeway Kefir.
Lifeway Kefir, I enjoy the mango flavor, and if they don't have mango, I'll go pomegranate, and if they don't have pomegranate, I'll go either blueberry or strawberry, which are tied for 3rd place.
Are there any flavors you will not? Well, no, I shouldn't say that.
not.
You do like to be critical of the people that hire you, though.
That's
so maybe
right.
This is the time where you tell Kefir to
I've
stop.
been shouting at Kefir.
Stop
Lifeway
manufacturing
Kefir.
this.
The plain Kefir. There's like a just plain, and it just
boring.
It's boring, and it just doesn't, because it's kind of like it's a little bit of a sour yogurt, and so straight it's like not great. But when you add a little flavor, it's fine.
Okay. Now you say that Lifeway Kefir is a Kefir is a keeper.
Keeper's a keeper.
That could be the tagline.
Lifeway Kefir, it's a keeper. I got to work on that.
I think we got
bit.
a clean recording of that, so we can definitely isolate that.
Okay, great.
You say that this is something that affects the way that you are and the way that you live, and then you also say that Lifeway Kefir is the budget. I mean, shouldn't you be spending more money on what makes your life what it is?
Well, here's the thing. Yogurt, it's all...
Matt is just like a drunk old man leaning back, and he's talking about yogurt.
Yogurt, I mean, what could possibly be the difference? Where, I mean, I should maybe... Well, I don't want to speak ill of my sponsor, but I don't know where these cows are coming from. Maybe, in the same way where if you buy milk, you can, the more expensive milk is coming from cows that are treated better or something.
Cleaner, maybe.
Cleaner,
Yeah.
but...
Bottom line is, though, you're getting
I think
probiotics.
Lifeway's a safe bet.
All right. Lifeway, safe bet to get your kefir. You heard it from Matt Ingebretson, future spokesperson for Lifeway Kefir. And I don't think there's a lot of competition for that. I think this could be your thing.
I would love to do... if Lifeway Kefir is listening... Or, if I'm being honest, any kefir company, I would sell out Lifeway in a second. If any of them are listening,
yeah, but you have the jingle with Lifeway.
That's
no, wait, no,
right.
you don't. It's Kefir is a keeper, so that could be
That's right.
anywhere. Okay, never mind.
I would like to offer my services up as a spokesperson for your company. I will film commercials for you. I would even write them. I'd love to just collaborate on an advertising campaign for your kefir company.
Get kefir out there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've done it. Thank you very much for that sponsor, Lifeway Kefir, and or any kefir. That's Matt Ingebretson singing the praises.
Thank you, Jeff.
Now, let's talk about you. Plugs at the end. You got to do it at every podcast.
Right.
So you're saying corporate in January.
Corporate's my plug. Yeah, corporate in January. No air date yet, but you'll probably start hearing about it in November.
Do you want to give a quick synopsis? What's the brief? What it is?
Corporate is a dark office satire that is sort of about two guys, me and Jake, working in a soulless nightmare corporation, and it's kind of about the day-to-day of that and getting wrapped up into sort of like evil shit at a corporation. It kind of tonally, I feel like it's like if Office Space was directed by David Fincher or something like
All
that.
right.
which maybe it's a little self-aggrandizing, but that is like you're kind of getting like kind of an office comedy, but we
it's dark.
Yeah, it's dark. Yeah,
it's a little dark. Folks.
It's a little dark.
Well, that's going to be great, and I look forward to it.
Yeah.
We'll have a big watching party on
Absolutely.
a laptop or something.
All right, great.
And anywhere on Twitter and or other things?
You can Google me and follow me on Twitter and Instagram or whatever you want to do. My name is Matt Ingebretson. That's INGEBRETSON. But if you just start typing Matt ING, it'll probably autofill the rest, and you'll be well on your way.
You're heading up the ranks of the Matt INGs.
Yeah, there's not a lot of competition.
All right. And after this Kiefer deal, woo,
oh yeah,
big time. Well, Matt, thank you so much for coming in and being on Exit Strategy. I really appreciate it. And it's good to talk to you, man.
It's good to see you, Jake.
One of our
Jeff?
hobbies.
I just called you Jake. God.
One of our hobbies should be hanging out more, and so we learn each other's names.
I'm just a little busy with my woodworking. Otherwise, I'd love to hang out, but I can't because I'm making a desk.
All right. Well, Matt, we'll see you at the shop. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Jeff. Lifeway Kiefer, it's a keeper.